Good morning, fifth grade. This is Monday, April the 13th, and this is your grammar lesson for the day. Go ahead and get your grammar book out and turn to page 249 and pause me while you get there. Okay, now we're all on this page and it says writing with commas. So this is one of those times we're going to practice different types of sentences and where to put the commas in them. I wrote a couple of sentences up here that we're going to use a skill on, and I wrote a practice sentence for us to work with. Okay, so here's a couple things that I did this morning. I went on a walk with my husband, and as I was walking, I listened to music. So we're going to take these two items and put them in one sentence, combine them into one sentence with a comma. And this first phrase here has to start with a verb. Notice walk is a verb. And it has to end in ing. If you remember, that's called the present participle form of a verb. So very important. It's got to start with a verb ending in ing. And then after this phrase, we put a comma. Okay, so let's look at this. Walking with my husband this morning, comma. Well, who is doing the walking? I have to go right after that comma. I listen to music. Okay, so that's how we could take two sentences and join them together in this format. All right, now let's look at the first three on this page, the first three bullet points. Actually, let's go up to the examples. A ladybug wears black spots on its red body. It is easy to identify. Okay, remember we have to start with the verb ending in an ing. Wearing black spots. Here, let me put this book over here. There we go. Wearing black spots on its red body, comma. Who's wearing the black spots? It's this ladybug. A ladybug is easy to identify. All right, here's the next one. I saw a ladybug on a leaf. The ladybug was eating aphids. Okay, well, the verb would be eating. We took this verb here. Eating aphids, comma, who was eating the aphids? The ladybug sat on a leaf. This is an incorrect way to say it. Eating aphids, comma, I saw a ladybug on a leaf. It sounds like you're the one eating aphids. So whoever is doing the action has to be right after that comma. Okay, now we're at the bottom of the page, and I just rewrote them. But you can follow along in your book if you want. First sentence says, people use the ladybug spray, and I have highlighted the verb in yellow. They can attract ladybugs. So we're going to take this verb and we're going to turn it into using. Right, we have to add this ing to it. Using you probably can't see it as I'm writing here. Let me scoot down. Ladybug spray. Well, who's using the ladybug spray? People, and I just finish this out, can attract ladybugs. And now you have a nice fifth grade sentence instead of two separate sentences, a combined sentence. All right, let's look at number 2. Curious learners read this booklet. They discover fun ladybug facts. Read is our verb, so we're going to start with reading, right, with an ing. Reading this booklet. Well, who's reading the booklet? Curious learners. Curious learners. And we wouldn't put they because we have the verb. I'm sorry, we have the subject. We don't, so we're going to go straight to discover. Curious learners discover fun ladybug facts. Okay, so you're going to have one subject. One of those subjects you don't need to use. Okay, nature lovers observe ladybugs in the observation station. They learn more about this creature's habits. Okay, so we have observe as our verb. And let me scoot this up. Observing ladybugs in the observation station, comma, okay, who's doing the observing? Nature lovers. We don't want to put they, we're going to put nature lovers. Nature lovers do what? They learn and write the whole thing out. Don't skimp on it. More about this creature's habits. Okay? So, not hard. The main thing is remember to start with the ing, that verb that ends in an ing. Say the phrase, put the comma, and then the subject says the subject that is doing this action comes right behind it with the rest of the sentence. Now I want you to do the fourth and the fifth bullet points on this page, and write those on a Google document for me. Right now, let's turn the page to page 250, which I think you'll find much easier, honestly. And basically, we're going to take these two sentences and we're going to make a complex sentence out of it, because we're going to add one of those subordinating conjunctions at the very beginning of the sentence. Has to come at the beginning, because after that phrase, you're going to put the comma. All right, so here's an example. Our class is studying insects. We will be more aware of them. Well, let's put a subordinating conjunction. After, although, as, because, even if, since, while. There are more in our book, so you can just look in the back and look in the index and find what page they're on. There's more, but you can just use these today. We can say, because our class is studying insects, and put a comma there, we will be more aware of them. Okay? So let's look at this first one. I don't think I need to write this because we're really not changing a whole lot except adding a word at the beginning. Okay? I was passing through Boylston Field, period. Hundreds of butterflies suddenly flew out of the milkweeds. All right, well, which one of these words would work there in front of I? And there's a cause and effect relationship here, so you want to make sure that you pick the right word. Could we say, as I was passing through Boylston Field, hundreds of butterflies suddenly flew out? Yes, so I'm just going to add that there rather than writing the whole thing out, so you don't have to wait on me. All right, let's look at the second one. The butterflies settled down. I stood very still. Okay. We could use while here. While the butterflies settled down, comma, I stood very still. You could have used as there. As the butterflies settled down, I stood very still. After probably wouldn't work because you're having to stand still while they're settling down, not after, or they won't settle down. Okay, so you see what we're doing? We're just going to pick one, add it at the very beginning, make sure you put a comma instead of that period, and write the rest of them out. These I'm going to have you do, we did the first two, I'm going to have you do the next three. This one, and that one. And just do it on the second part of that Google Doc that you did from page 249. Okay? All right, thank you, 5th grade.